Welcome, everybody, to the Brown Bears Sports Report here on social media. We're trying something new this year. Different circumstances call for different measures. So we're going to be coming to you live each week on our social media platforms on Brown Athletics and on brownbears.com. My name is Scott Cordischi. I'm a social media specialist here for Brown Athletics and also host of the Brown Bears Sports Report, which would normally come your way Wednesday nights at 6 on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome to our first show the men's lacrosse team, or at least some members of the men's lax team. We're joined by head coach Mike Daly, along with seniors Luke McCaleb and Phil Goss, junior Ryan Aughavin, and sophomore Darian Cook. First of all, Coach, how are you today?
We're doing great. We're doing great. Privileged to be here.
Well, it's great to have you, Coach, and I know these are certainly unique circumstances that we're dealing with right now. How have you been dealing with these circumstances? Obviously, not having lacrosse and not being, in your offices and not dealing with your guys in person as you normally would at this time of year.
Yeah, no, it's obviously it's an adjustment and different, but there's obviously people out there in the world and especially our friends in New York that are dealing with a heck of a lot more real things. So we're just trying to do our part and follow all the guidelines here and do as much as we possibly can to help stop the spread.
Yeah, senior attackman Luke McCaleb is with us. Luke, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much.
Luke, how are things in Chevy Chase, Maryland right now?
They're doing all right. Governor Hogan yesterday actually said everything but essential business is shut down, so we're pretty much in full quarantine now. So adjusting to that, but it's good to be at home. I got my two sisters home. One is a sophomore in college, one lives in New York, and we don't get to see each other that much. So trying to make the best of the situation. It's good to be around family and everything and just enjoying the time that we have together.
We're also joined by senior goalie Phil Goss. Phil, out in San Francisco, California. Are you back home in San Francisco, Phil?
Yeah, exactly. I'm back in California. Weather's pretty nice out here. The fields are still unlocked, so I'm able to, put on my mask and go down to the field, go for a run, do some bodyweight exercises out there. So I feel pretty fortunate to be home with my family and have access, despite the lockdown, to the outdoors.
I know it was tough to have the season ended the way that it was, but I think we all understand why that was the case. But, you guys, I thought, were playing very well. I know the record would say that you were 3-2, but watching your 5 games, you could have easily been 5-0 this season.
For sure, yeah, definitely. On behalf of the whole senior class, the coaching staff, we're super proud of the team and the start that we had to the season. It's a shame that it got cut short, but it's out of our control. And kind of the Brown lacrosse mantra has always been control those things that we can control. That the last win was super exciting, but I think I speak for the whole team when I say those are the kind of wins that we expect to have as a program and the wins that we look to have in the future.
Junior Midi Ryan Aughavin is with us as well. And Ryan, before play was halted, you led the team in points with 18 on the season. You were second team All-Ivy a year ago. I guess just talk to us about, the season that you were off to, the start you were off to individually, and how you thought the team looked through the first 5 games.
Yeah, I think we were starting to gel offensively. I think we started a little slow. It hurt us in those one-goal games, like you said, but I think as a team we were playing well, just taking what the defense gave us, just being smart on offense, and I think it was starting to show. So I think that I just coach put me in the right situation to make a play. I think it was just individually, and didn't have to do too much to throw it in the net, just make the next play. So it was all good so far.
I know you're located in Glen Head, New York, which is on Long Island. So
Yep.
Obviously what's happening in New York hits very close to home for you, I would imagine.
Yeah, 100%. And my dad's still working every other day in the city. He's FDNY. So he's still going in. So things are pretty hectic around here.
I hope that everybody is safe and healthy in your family, Ryan.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And we're also joined by sophomore attackman Darian Cook. Darian, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Well, thank you for joining us. You had 16 points before the season came to a halt, which was third best on the team. And I can't help but think back to that final game when you guys knocked off the defending national champions, Virginia. What a great atmosphere it was at Stevenson-Pinson's Field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was definitely the best atmosphere I've ever played in so far in my lacrosse career. But again, as Phil said, we weren't surprised. We train hard every day, and we really focus on the little things. And at the end of the day, we think the little things is the reason why we beat UVA.
You know, and it just kind of goes to show you what the team is capable of, right? And even those two losses, as I mentioned, the Stony Brook game, I watched the whole game on my computer when I was out in Ithaca, New York at Cornell with the men's basketball team, and I thought you outplayed the Seawolves for the entire game, but unfortunately, a bounce of the ball here or there, and you come up one goal shy, and then, of course, it was the overtime loss to Providence at home. But I just feel like that Virginia game did show what you guys are capable of.
Yeah, I mean, we trained for big moments like that, and unfortunately, we came up a little shy in those 2 overtime losses. But it just showed the team we can be, and really excited for next year to show the country what we're made of.
Coach Daly, something we have yet to talk about is the new Center for Lacrosse and Soccer. You guys were just able to get into that this spring. I'm curious to get your thoughts, and then we'll ask the student athletes their impressions as well of the new Center for Lacrosse and Soccer.
Yeah, no, it's a game changer, sure. As you said, we had just moved in. Honestly, probably under, maybe we moved in March 1st, and obviously had been there about a week before all the dominoes started falling. So, it's just a really special place with, the design and the intent to, just make these guys and the student athletes' lives more efficient, with locker rooms, training rooms, meeting spaces, film spaces, and just allow the guys to come down, get their stuff done efficiently, and then back to their academic lives. So, and to have everything right there at the field and access to Stephen for shooting and X and wall ball. It's just a very, very welcoming space for these guys to come down during the day and get those extras in and get that work in.
And Coach, I know none of us on this call know how this whole pandemic is going to play itself out, but I understand something that's also in the works is the fact that they're going to resurface Stevenson-Pinson's Field, put down some new field turf this summer. And it's my understanding as of the moment that's still a go. Is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, no, hopefully, that was part of the deferred maintenance, budget and project. So hopefully that continues on as scheduled. And they were supposed to also, update the stands on the far side. I thought it was an awesome look this fall when our soccer teams were out there, and they built some temporary stands. And luckily, a lot of the facilities people and the alums were like, we've got to do this, and let's enclose the whole stadium. So that'll be a nice exclamation point on everything to have a brand new surface down, and like I said, to have those permanent stands on that far side. It'll really make it that much better of an in-game environment for sure.
And is the plan also moving forward to brand the walls in the offices, meeting space, and in the locker rooms as well?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of little things that are, they're still in there working right now and buttoning up a lot of loose ends. And that's one thing for sure that I think we've done that in all of our spaces around, is do a great job with those graphics, those logos, and switching them out. So that'll all happen down in the tunnel by the locker rooms for sure, and then all the way up through those parent meeting spaces and those alumni meeting rooms will all be 100% branded.
Luke, I know this is certainly an uncertain time for all of us, but particularly for you and Phil, in that you're seniors. And nobody knows, are your careers over with? The NCAA has come out and said that they're going to grant an extra year of eligibility, but it gets more confusing when you add the Ivy League and their rules to it. And we don't know if the Ivy League is going to change anything or not, but what are your thoughts? Would you like to play another year, or are you set on just graduating from Brown and getting into the working world right away?
Yeah, I mean, after all the times I've had in the locker room, on the field, even like those 6 a.m. workouts that you think, oh, I would never want to do this again. There's nothing I would rather do than suit up in a Brown uniform one more time. I mean, being able to play with guys like Dar, Augie, Phil is just, there's nothing else in life that will be matched like it. So, I mean, obviously I would love more than anything to be able to come back to Brown, play one more year. But like I think Phil said it earlier, was, I mean, just control the controllables. So I'm just going to keep doing whatever I can, staying healthy for the time being, keep working out, keep staying in shape and doing all I can if I get the opportunity. But you never know what the future holds. So just taking it one step at a time, focusing on the bigger things going on right now. And then if that time comes, then I'll be overjoyed. But until then, just kind of stay in the path. So we'll see what happens. But I'd love to be back in a Brown uniform at some point in the next year.
Luke, what are you concentrating in at Brown, and what would you like to do eventually when your lacrosse playing days are over with?
So I'm a BEO concentrator. I have actually committed to going into the Marine Corps after college. I was supposed to go back to OCS this summer, but it got deferred because of an injury I had. So next summer, I'll be going back to officer candidate school for 10 weeks, and then hopefully get through that and finish that up, and then get into the fleet.
Well, that's terrific. Congratulations, and thank you for your commitment to serving our country. Same question to you, Phil. What's your concentration? I know you, among all of your accolades on the playing field, all Ivy and all American honors, you're also academic all Ivy, or academic all American, I should say. What's your concentration at Brown, and ideally, what would you like to do when your playing days are over with?
I'm studying economics and political science with a focus on American politics, so a double concentration. And right now I'm committed to work an investment banking job in New York. So a little less patriotic and heroic than Luke, but I think serves a vital function in the country as well.
Absolutely. And congratulations on having that available to you. And are you leaving the door ajar to possibly return if that opportunity is available?
I'm incredibly grateful for the 4 years that I have had at Brown, and the connections I've made and the people that I've met. And just today I was talking with some of the guys about a classmate of ours in a class who is an Air Force veteran, and just to meet people like that at Brown has been an experience that I wouldn't trade anything for. And I would love the opportunity to potentially come back again, but as you mentioned, there's so many moving pieces, and I don't know what the future holds, but I'm super grateful for what I've had, and we'll see if the chips fall the right way.
Ryan, I know you guys just started the process of remote learning. How has that been going these past couple of days?
Yeah, it's been interesting. Just tuning into class, it's weird online, but something we got to get used to. It's not too bad. The teachers have been pretty good with it, so just grateful we got something to do every day. Not so boring, so it's been good so far.
And Darian, how about you? In addition to remote learning, I'm sure you're trying to do stuff to stay in shape. What have you been doing these past couple of weeks since you've been home?
I just try to maintain a schedule, just waking up at the same time and starting the day a little earlier each day. And I'm fortunate to have a good friend and teammate, Connor Fox, living with me. So we'll work out in my garage to the best of our ability, and we'll as like Phil, we also have our field open, so we'll go down to the field and shoot some lacrosse balls and do our running test and doing everything we can to stay in shape.
Now, you're in Reading, Connecticut, which is just north of Fairfield, correct?
Yes, I believe so.
And so are you in that area too? I know that there's been great concern with the New York City area and, of course, southwestern Connecticut and northern New Jersey. Are you in that area that is the main area of concern right now with the coronavirus?
I'm definitely in that area, but Reading being very rural and pretty remote, it doesn't feel like there's a huge issue just because even on a great day, there's not much going on here. So it doesn't feel like anything crazy, but everyone's taking the proper precautions.
Coach Daly, I know technically everyone is out of season now, right? So you get a couple of hours a week if you choose to communicate with your players. What type of communication, if any, is going on between coaches and your student athletes, or maybe just the guys between themselves? Can you shed light on that?
Yeah, no, I think the guys have always done a great job. We've had our winter break is close to 6 weeks long. So, our guys always need to be handling being home and being away from the team the right way. So I think there's been a lot of opportunities to fill some of those leadership voids, and guys, sophomores, juniors have all stepped up and stepped into some of those roles. So we see it as a good opportunity, to take that isolation a little bit and bring other teammates with you, and the new normal here of Zoom meetings and video conferencing, and hopefully figuring out that those phones that they text with all the time actually can be used as a vehicle to talk to people. So we're just encouraging guys to honestly stay close and be there for each other, and hopefully, none of this touches us, too closely. But if it does, to make sure that we're there for each other when and if that happens.
And Coach, lastly, how are you and your staff going about recruiting? Is it all just remotely? Are you Zoom conferencing with prospective student athletes, just texting, emailing, things of that nature? What's the recruiting game like in these circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, it's now more than ever, the recruiting stuff never ends, right? And certainly it doesn't end during all this. So we've been staying in touch with guys. This is honestly my first ever Zoom meeting, so I'm not a big Zoom meeting guy. So I do that just for you, Scott, and so I don't foresee us Zooming recruits, but who knows? It's normal, but we're staying in touch with those guys, and trying to incorporate the 2020 recruits into some of what is going on with the team, and then and obviously the 2021s and on. We're in a dead period, so we're doing whatever NCAA rules allow us to do, and keeping everybody again close and in contact.
Well, guys, as we wrap things up, seniors first and foremost, we're all trying to make the best of a difficult situation, obviously. I want to wish you all the best of luck with whatever your future holds. And more importantly, if you have played your last lacrosse game at Brown, and we don't know if that's true or not, thank you for your 4 years of service to this program and this university.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys, good luck. And I hope that you and your loved ones all stay healthy and, during this time. And hopefully we'll see you all back on campus before too long.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, men.
All right, there you have it. The Brown Bears Sports Report with head coach Mike Daly, the men's lacrosse coach Phil Goss, Ryan Aughavin, Luke McCaleb, and Darian Cook. My name is Scott Cordischi. Thanks for joining us. Have a great week, everybody.
This has been a presentation of Learfield IMG College.